You're listening to the baddest show on the planet. Get your money right, get your game right, and everything in between. This is the Bad Hombre Podcast.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Mindless fucking TV.
Exactly.
Do you think that watching, for example, like Vanderpump Rules,
I love Vanderpump Rules. Oh my god.
I think honestly, that would set your mood off to like start a fight for no reason with your boyfriend.
No.
Yeah, I feel like those drama.
I appreciated the men in my life after I watched Vanderpump Rules.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What is it with like all these shows? What are they showing that makes them so addictive? Like, you know, like Blind Date, Love is Blind. Yeah.
I feel like it's the highs and the lows that it takes you on. It's like this, like your brain starts secreting dopamine.
Right.
So it's like the highs and the lows, and like it's so entertaining to follow that and to go on the highs and lows with them, but you're not really taking on any other risk.
And they say to have a successful relationship, you have to put a girl through highs and lows.
Oh my god, that's not a relationship. That's a trauma bond.
Yeah, but sometimes you gotta do that. Like,
You gotta do that.
no, but I mean, girls hate routine, right? So, doing those experiences, I mean, starting.
What kind of experiences?
Just pick a fight for no reason, guys.
Okay, give me the role play. Let's go.
I'm
Role
kidding.
play.
No. But look, yeah, just avoid being a monotone relationship, though.
No, I agree, but you could do that in different ways than picking a fight. Surprise date, spicing things up,
Right.
you know, hot experiences, different things.
Yeah, because if girls won't say shit, they just pick up and leave. You have to like, everything has been so smooth today for like the last 2 weeks. Let me like do something random, pick a fight or something.
That's what you think?
No, I do think that sometimes women get addicted to these shows and they want drama in their lives. That's my opinion. That's what I've experienced.
It's valid. That's valid.
What do you agree? From a guy's perspective.
I don't know, but I feel like every woman is different and every relationship is different. I don't think it's necessarily the wanting the drama. Maybe it's wanting his attention, you know, like when a man feels like he pissed the woman off and she's upset and she's going off on him, it's not because of the drama, it's more because she wants that attention and care that he's going to give her after he feels like he fucked up. Can I cuss on here?
Yeah, you can cuss, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, so like sometimes if everything's going well, he's just like chilling, whatever, everything's good. What does a man want? Like Dave Chappelle did this stand-up comedy and he was like, oh, what do men want? He's like, don't talk too much, make him a sandwich, and I'm not going to say what the other thing is.
Okay.
But he's like, men are not that complicated.
We're not.
Okay, true. However, women require a lot of attention. So if you're not giving her attention in a positive way, she's going to try to get it in a negative way.
Ah. Yeah. Okay, expand on that. What do you mean negative way? What are some examples of like getting someone's attention in a negative way?
From a woman's perspective?
Yeah, just like looking at a random post that he liked of some girl that he'll never meet.
I think that's really stupid, personally.
Okay.
But maybe, let's say, making him feel jealous. That's a way of getting his attention, because sometimes men take women for granted.
Okay.
And they only feel the need to still work on the relationship if they feel like they're going to lose her. They could have the hottest woman, the smartest woman, but they're safe, they're secure. She's never going to leave. She's not a cheater. She's a good girl. So then they just stop trying. He tried so hard to get her, and now that he's got her, he just stopped trying. And, you know, the woman needs that constant reassurance and constant
You got to
attention.
keep her on her toes, guys.
Not keep her on her toes. I feel like when you say keep her on her toes, you mean like piss her off, make her question her relationship.
I think there is like a dance that you have to do of giving her the reassurance, but at the same time, letting her know that, hey, like, I don't need you.
You think by letting the woman know that you don't need her, she's going to want to stay with you?
I think women don't like the safety net. Like, I think at some point you got to show them that you're always willing to walk away, because just like a job, you know, your boss can get complacent with you, your girl can get complacent. And it's like, no, this guy, like, he would leave if I become lazy, you know. And I think women should do the same thing too with guys.
Okay.
Like if you're dating a man, right? All of a sudden he's put on 20 pounds. All of a sudden he doesn't shave. All of a sudden he's not making as much money. You're gonna leave him.
Yeah, but that's working on yourself. It's not keeping someone on their toes. I feel like you both should consistently keep on working on bettering yourselves and evolving as a person so that you both grow, because then someone might grow and the other one is still where they are.
Right.
And then you have this huge like bridge between you guys, and you guys can't meet in the middle. So working on yourself and evolving is one thing, but then keeping her on her toes in like a toxic way, I think is unhealthy, because how can you have a child and start a family if you're both in that mentality together? Maybe in the beginning when you guys are dating and playing games and you're dating multiple people, she's dating multiple people, and you kind of want to like impress her a little more.
Right,
Sure.
right.
But, you know, I don't know why you date, but for most women, maybe dating leads to starting a family, having children, building a foundation together. How can you do that and have children if you're going to keep her on her toes and she's going to keep you on? Like, it doesn't make sense to me.
At what age do women start to date for like serious goals, like starting a family? Or does that depend on culture?
I think it definitely depends on culture. It depends on religion. It depends on the type of person. But if we're going to be very general, I would say after 25, if you're still dating for fun, something is wrong with you. Oh, is that bad? I mean, that's a really bold statement.
No, I think it's good to be honest.
Yeah.
You know, because why would you take a 22-year-old girl seriously? I mean, can you? Most guys do want.
So it depends.
The thing is, women in their early 20s, like that's like their prime years, and they
Yeah.
have so many options,
Yeah.
and so they're like juggling all the options, exploring all the options.
I've always been in long-term relationships. I've never been like the jumping around from person to person. Like I would date because I want to be serious with that guy. Like I could go on a date with the best guy ever. He's so funny. He's charismatic, hot, successful, all that stuff. But if I can't see myself marrying him, I'm not going to go on a second date just to have fun. And it's always been that way. But then like now I'm 27 and I'm single now. So it's like, did I waste my time being serious and being patient and giving someone a chance and betting on him when I could have been exploring other options? And like they say, oh, the grass is greener. I used to believe the grass is greener where you water it. It's not greener on the other side.
Right.
But if you're watering bad soil, no matter what you do and how much sunlight you give it, it's not going to grow. So then it's like, do I walk away even though I've invested so much, but it might not go anywhere? Or do I leave and see what's out there?
And how long did you wait to make that decision? Because the longer you wait, the harder it gets.
So my most serious relationship, it was 2 years and a half, and the first year was really good. There was like one red flag like 10 months in, and I wanted to break up and cut up because it was a deal breaker to me, and I made the deal breaker very, very clear from the beginning. From the first day, I have that conversation, by the way.
Okay.
But then I decided to give him a second chance, and then the second year was me just being patient and trying to be there for him and trying to be understanding and give him all the excuses. He too, like I'm sure I had my red flags as well, and he was probably patient as well. But then after a while, I was just like, yeah, no, I'm done. And of course, they always come back. But when do they come back? They come back when you're talking to someone else. Because that's what I was saying. They take you for granted. And I feel like I was taking for granted.
But then you wouldn't take someone back?
I would if they address the root cause of it. And also, it's a time-sensitive thing, I believe, as well. Because personally, in my situation, we broke up. And I kind of left the door open. We did that whole dance of like, oh, we're friends. But we broke up, whatever. I didn't really go out and date. I respected whatever we had. And I feel like it was too early anyway. And we still talked or hung out or whatever from time to time. But he didn't really like go out of his way to be like, okay, I fixed the issues. Because for me, I made it very clear. I communicated and I was like, this is a problem, this is a problem, this is a problem. I'm not going to marry someone who is going through so-and-so. I'm not going to put my family through that, point blank. And it's a non-negotiable for me. It doesn't matter how much I love you. The love was still there. But then it was like 4 or 5 months, crickets. And then I get into another relationship and that guy was coming in all guns blazing. Next thing I know, my ex is at my door proposing and begging me to go with him on a honeymoon trip.
While you're in another relationship.
After I stepped into my new relationship, and I was like, no, I'm talking to someone else. Like, where were you 4 months ago? Where were you 5 months ago? And he knew that me and that guy started talking. And I didn't think he took it seriously. I don't think he thought like, oh, she's actually going to go for it. Oh shit, I'm getting into it more than I should.
That's fine.
But yeah. And then he wanted me back after I was with someone else, and he came back like I fixed everything. And I was like, where were you before? He was like, oh, I was working on myself. I didn't want to have that conversation until I had figured everything out. But that was the point where I was like, part of me did want to go back and give him a second chance because I did believe him and the love was still there. But also was like, I owe it to myself to not do the same mistake again, because that's like the definition of insanity, doing the same thing expecting a different result. And I was always gonna wonder, oh, like what would have happened if I just tried to explore my own thing rather than going back to my comfort zone. Yeah.
So what happened? Like that just died out?
Which one?
Well, the ex that came back, you just put your foot down and you're like, I don't want you back, and move on.
Yeah, but it was a very respectful, very nice conversation because, like I said, we both still cared about each other and respected each other deeply. And I had to respect the person I was with who was not accepting of me still being in communication with my ex. Like, you can't argue with that. Like, it's a no-brainer. So we agreed on that and we went separate ways. And then 2 months into my new relationship, I realized I was dating a crazy narcissist. So I broke that off very early. I was like, no, I'm not giving myself 2 years.
Narcissist.
I was like, no. Yeah, he wanted to get married like 1 month into the relationship. But
I feel like women like to throw that word around a lot.
I did not throw that word, the word around. He is a narcissist.
Yeah.
We do throw it around.
Define narcissist.
For me, the main you can have narcissistic traits and not be a narcissist.
Okay.
But the main one for me that is the most defining is the lack of empathy and the inability to self-reflect. You can't put yourself in the other person's shoes. Any fault that you cannot deny, you blame it on someone else. A lack of emotional connection within yourself. You can't admit your wrongs. And there was a little bit of bipolar there too. I don't want to get too much into it, but it was like a combination.
Are you talking about me?
No, I'm not talking about you. Are you a narcissist? Do you think you're a narcissist?
Do you know me a bit? Do you think I'm a narcissist?
I don't think so.
Do you think I have narcissistic traits?
I don't think so. No.
No? From what you've known, you can be honest.
No, honestly, I don't think you're a narcissist at all or have narcissistic traits. Have you been told that?
I think maybe once, a couple. I think I had narcissistic traits.
Okay, like what?
So I understand narcissists. I understand. Like it's a phase. I don't think. I think the narcissistic traits could be a phase that you go through, because narcissism, people think that is somebody who's like into themselves too much, and I think it's actually the lack of self-love.
That's absolutely what it is.
So you need that validation, and I think I went through a phase where I would post a lot of selfies, and I would just looking for validation. This was like probably mid-20s, 27. Also, I fell back into it again at 29. And then you get to a point where, like, when you become who you want to be, that you don't really need that reassurance. And I think every guy should just, like, I don't know, date yourself for a while. Like, you know, take the time to, like, get to know who you are, because that confidence can be faked. But hey, you know what? With the narcissistic traits, you could fake that confidence though, and then it becomes real. You know.
It's kind of like the grandiose, or it's like maybe you have like an inferiority complex, so then you're overcompensating to kind of hide that lack of self-confidence that you have. And studies show that.
Oh, it's quoting studies and shit. Okay.
For the most part, like narcissistic males, if you go back to their history and their childhood, it's a mother's wound that they have. Yeah. Like an attachment issue or a mother's wound that they had where like the mom wasn't really present in their life, that they lacked that maternal love and that maternal affection. And for some of them, it becomes kind of like you could date a man, he could be a serial dater, and he hates women. Like, it exists. It happens.
Right.
They hate women. And then they paint every woman to be whatever it was, the negative experience that they had with their mother. Like, I do actually know people that are like that. Like, let's say the mom cheated on the dad, or the mom left the kids, because it happens. Like, we always like to paint the dad that he's the one that does that, but women do it too, and it affects the guy greatly, and he takes that wound with him sometimes onto the rest of his life if he doesn't go to therapy. And then they treat women like shit, and they're very insecure. They don't trust her. They always think she's gonna cheat or she's gonna do something, and they start becoming like extremely controlling in a sense, because they think that they need to portray this type of image so that they don't get cheated on, or she doesn't leave them. And sometimes they cheat too to validate themselves, and they justify it for themselves as well. And I'm not shitting on men. Like, women can do it too. It can apply to both genders. Women can be narcissistic, but most men are narcissistic.
You think most men are?
It's more men, that are narcissistic than women. I feel.
I think. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. I think women are more narcissistic these days. To be honest.
So?
Huh?
How so?
I think because who posts most selfies, men or women?
Women, but that has nothing to do with
Who seeks more validation online?
Oh no, at this day and age, both.
Both?
How many shirtless men are fondling fruits on TikTok?
Fondling fruits?
Fondling, yeah. You don't see it because it's not on your FYP.
Okay.
The algorithm is doing a good job for you. But the amount of men now, make it a poll. Ask your followers.
Right.
The female followers,
I
how
have
many
like 2
times
female followers
a day do they see naked men that they have a good body,
Okay.
and they're fondling fruits, and he's breaking a pineapple with his biceps, and he's like hitting the chicken and hitting the dough and putting his fingers in places that they should not be, and violating the fruits and the vegetables in the kitchen.
Yeah, I'm curious to see who's more narcissistic, men or women in general. You're saying men are more narcissistic?
I think so, yeah, because women are more maternal. They're very affectionate.
Right.
Men are more self-invested and self-involved than
See, I don't know if I agree with that. I think these days women are a lot more narcissistic in the sense that they really just care about themselves. Like, men are willing to give the whole paychecks to their woman of their lives. You never hear a woman doing that. What do you think OnlyFans, like, men are not making any money on OnlyFans?
because women are not going to pay to see naked men.
Exactly.
They can get it anywhere.
Yeah.
But okay, because here's the thing. Men sleep with the women that they can get. Women sleep with the men that they want. There's a difference.
Yeah, I know. Women have the keys for sex, and men have the keys for marriage.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So when a girl feels like she's a big deal because any guy could fuck her, it's like, yeah, but how many of them could propose to you?
No, I agree with you. Yeah.
And guys, the same thing. So I'm just interested because I'm noticing a lot of narcissistic females. I never thought that women could be narcissistic until the last year and a half, 2 years, that I'm noticing how, like, they just care. They're just so in love with themselves, and usually the hotter they are, the better, because they're getting all this validation online.
So why does it bother you if a woman is in love with herself?
It doesn't bother me. Maybe, I guess what bothers me is that they get life on easy mode, that they get, beautiful women, they have life on easy mode. They get everything paid for. They have no consequences, you know.
Do you think I'm beautiful?
I think you're a beautiful girl, yeah.
No man has ever paid for anything of mine.
What do you mean?
I don't have it easy. I pay my own bills. I've always paid my own bills.
But you could
Even
though.
when I'm in a relationship.
But can you though?
If I want to be a hoe, but I don't want to be a hoe, I'm not a hoe.
Right. But a lot of girls do that. Like, a lot of girls.
And that's okay. Good for them.
Yeah.
Like, you do you. But I'm just saying, just because a woman is beautiful does not mean that she has it easy.
Okay.
Pretty privilege exists. Absolutely. It exists for both men and women. And yeah, maybe for women, there's a bigger space for that but then it's also about the roles though. Because men are providers and protectors.
Yeah.
like no matter how hot you are, if you don't have a good job and you don't have a good work ethic, no woman is gonna want to be your wife, even if she's in love with you.
Right.
A lot of women are in love with men for years and then they leave them for someone else they're not in love with, but he's a safer option because he provides that stability and safety. And I don't think that makes a woman a gold digger. It makes her smart, because why would you want to raise a child with a man who can't bring the bread home? It doesn't make sense. But then the same way with men. Men are not gravitating towards women that are making more money and that are more successful and taking on more executive roles. You could be the smartest woman and the most successful woman and you're still single in your 40s and in your 50s. And it does exist. They gravitate more towards the woman that is more maternal, that is more loving and affectionate and caring when she's going to make his house a home. So it's more about the role. So yeah, pretty women have it easier because men are willing to pay for it because they're stepping into their gender role in that relationship.
Yeah. So I guess like the less better looking you are, the more masculine you get. I don't know.
What? What do you mean?
No, never mind.
You're gonna get canceled.
Yeah. No, I don't know why that resentment comes from, to be honest with you. When I see, I think what bothers me is to see a beautiful girl who's like going to all these places, getting flown out, and they never post the guy, or like they never.
Because he's not her boyfriend, she doesn't have to post him. He's willing. The man,
So that bothers me. Like
he knows what he's walking into, and he's probably doing that for 5 other women. And this is not a man. And this is not a man that is making $60,000 a year, and then he's throwing 30 on a trip for a girl. No, this is a guy who makes a shit ton of money. It's not high value for him. It's disposable income. It's not like he's like for me.
And she said disposable girl for him.
100%.
So I think the thing that bothers a lot of men, and this is why guys have resentment, and this is why a lot of this community exists, is because those girls only go after the guys after all of these things. Once those rich guys stop offering you the trips and the leasing, that's when you start like, okay, I gotta find a guy to settle down with.
Yeah, but that was the trade from the beginning. It's a fair trade. She's giving him maybe physical perks, or maybe sometimes it's not even physical. Sometimes he's just liking to stroke his ego. He'll meet random girls in Miami and he'll bring them on his yacht, and it makes him feel good and it strokes his ego, and he paid for it. It's a transaction. So if you're dating a girl who you know is only interested in your money, and when you're not offering that money anymore, she wants to walk away, then why are you surprised?
No, I get that. That's a transparent, what do you call it, arrangement, I guess.
100%.
But I think what bothers guys is that a woman usually are just willing to settle down after they don't have a lot of these options. A lot of these guys in this community is like the red pill community.
What's the red pill community?
The red pill, I don't even want to get into it, but I was very into that community for a while. And it's basically just seeing things for what they are. Mm-hmm. Like nature, female nature. What is the female nature? What are they into? Like the hypergamous nature. There's a whole bunch of books about female psychology and how they operate. And I've been into that rabbit hole myself. And there's something called a red pill rage, which I went through myself. And so now I'm at this point where I'm like, I understand it, and you can't get mad at a woman for being a woman. Like if you lose your job and she leaves you, that's just what it is, man. Guys have the burden of performance, and that's what the red pill is. It's if there's one constant question a woman is asking herself throughout the whole relationship, you know what that is?
What?
Is this the best I can do?
I don't agree with that.
You don't agree with that?
I really don't.
You don't think that most women in relationships are asking themselves, oh, can I do better?
Maybe in the beginning. Maybe like when you're in the dating phase, absolutely, because you want to be with the best person for you. I don't know. Like, I don't know the type of woman you're talking about, but like, let's say with me and my female friends, when we're dating and we're going to sit and talk about like our dates and we're going to encourage each other and whatever. Yeah. For us, it's mostly like, how did he make me feel? Does he make me laugh? Is he charismatic? Is he smart? Would he be a good dad? Would he be the type of dad that's going to come home and listen to my daughter and play dress up with her and take my son out and teach him how to be a man? Yeah. Absolutely. Because like the partner that you're dating is going to be the father for your children. Yeah. In my opinion. Yeah. So it's not wrong to think, yeah, who would be the best father figure? Who would be the best husband? Is he going to take care of me when I'm sick, or he's just going to Uber me the medicine and leave? Is he going to be okay taking care of my parents when they get old? Is he good to his mother and to his sister and with his family? I think those things are valid, and it is important for you to pick the best option for you.
Yeah.
Because you're being with that person for the rest of your life. It's just like when you get a car, you're also going to pick the best car. You're not going to pick the car that you love and whatever. You're going to pick the best car that's not going to break down in the middle of the road.
Right.
And it's the same thing with partners, and it's logical. But then there's also the emotional aspect. And that's why a lot of women are single now, because we get that.
Okay, expand on that. Tell me why.
Okay. So for me, I'll speak on myself. A lot of the time, the men that I'm attracted to physically, I'm not attracted to mentally and emotionally. So there's that first, oh, this guy is like so freaking hot. Oh my God, I want to talk to him. There's something about him, whatever. And then we get into conversation. I'm like, this guy's a dumbass. Hell no. Goodbye. Then there's the guys that I'm attracted to mentally and emotionally, and there's so much depth and intellectuality there and all that stuff. But then I'm not physically attracted to him. So I just can't fake it. And that's the problem. Like, we kind of want both, and maybe that's an unrealistic expectation. I've been told a lot, you need to lower your standards and lower your expectations. Maybe, but...
So which one would you compromise then? The looks or the
physical?
Or the physical or the emotional?
I would definitely say the physical, because you can work on that, but also to a certain extent. Like, if he's ugly, he's ugly. Like, I'm sorry. Like, if like, I'm attracted to buff guys, sure, any guy could work out. We'll go to the gym together and we'll work out together. That's fine. But if he's ugly and he does not have that charisma and that banter, I just can't do it.
Which one are you more likely to have a kid with?
A kid with? No, definitely the emotional and mental.
Yeah?
Yeah, but here's the thing too. We're not talking about like super like hot, like freaking, I don't know. I can't give an example now on the top of my head. But it's also important to be with a man who's fit, because that talks about the way he treats himself. And you can kind of apply that to the rest of the aspects in his life. And it's no, like, we're not shaming anybody. We're not fat phobic. It's not about that. To each their own. But to me, I want to be with a man who's fit and takes care of himself. I'm fit and I'm taking care of myself. And I deserve to have the same. And we're setting that example for our children as well. If you don't have that discipline, how do you have discipline in anything else?
Yeah. Yeah. So would you have a kid? Because there's a common quote in that community. It's like alpha seed, beta need. And when you start seeing these behaviors amongst the real world, you start identifying them. So something that a lot of women do is they'll go and have the kids with the bad boys.
Oh.
And then they'll get the emotional guy, ugly guy to like raise them. Oh. So, and I'm sure you'd agree with this. If I ask you right now, let's say I had 5 dates. My last 5 dates, 3 of them were single moms. And if you had to guess how many of them told me that their baby daddy is a fuckboy asshole, what percentage of those ones are?
100% probably.
100%?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit.
So do you ever hear like girls, baby moms complaining about their baby daddy being an emotional, super nice guy?
Being not emotional?
Being very emotional.
No.
Not a lot, right?
Yeah.
That comes from the alpha seed, beta need.
That is so interesting.
Yeah. So
oh my God, I never thought about that.
Yeah. So it's part of the survival. Like, women look at those asshole traits as survival traits, and they want that DNA. Because they don't want the DNA from an emotional, in-depth guy that's in touch with his feelings.
I mean, I don't know. It's hard. But it's like, I mean, I'm attracted to alpha males as well. You know, like I'm attracted to masculine men, strong, rough voice, buff, whatever. Like, you're attracted to what you're attracted to. I can't help it. And I have friends that like the opposite. Like, I'll go out on a date with a guy and he's amazing. He's amazing. Right. Like, this has happened. And my friend was like, oh my God, he's amazing. Like, why not? And I'm like, he's too feminine for me. Yeah.
And that comes from people telling other men to like, be yourself. Don't be yourself.
No, there's someone for everyone, I think. It's just not for me.
Yeah, but it's you want to strive to be better.
Yeah.
And like, being yourself it's a shitty advice, because It's not. You're not supposed to. You're supposed to be better than. You're supposed to be the best. The woman that you want, you have to be the best that she can have, right? And to do that, you have to have your career in order. You have to have your mental health on check. You have to have your health, your fitness going.
Yeah, you know, it's like people say, oh, I want to be with someone so I can become happy. I want to be with someone so I can be better. No, you need to be better and happy on your own. Meet someone else who is also healthy and happy on their own. And then you guys share that happiness together and evolve and grow together. No one is going to make you happy and healthy if you're not in check between you and yourself. It's an innate thing. No matter how much you try to get that external validation, you're still going to be unhappy when you're putting your head on the pillow, because it's an innate thing.
Are you happier when you're in a relationship or when you're single?
I'm happy in general. I think I would be more happier if I'm in a relationship. But like in general, I'm a happy person. And I feel like that's why I wouldn't settle for someone that I'm not like absolutely in love with, because I'm happy on my own. Like I'm not lacking that and I need someone to give it to me. What about you?
I like the idea of having something to look forward to.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a provider by nature. I'm a man. And so to know that I'm providing for something, it's meaningful for sure. It gives me purpose, right?
Absolutely.
Because guys by themselves, like, we don't need much to be entertained. Like, there's a lot of memes about a mattress on the floor with a TV and a PlayStation on a garage somewhere, and that's all your guy needs to be happy, right? So I like being in a relationship, but here's the thing: I'm happier in a relationship, but if I'm sad, if I'm miserable in a relationship, I'm really fucking miserable.
There you go. So it's about.
So like it's the extremes, right? Like when I'm single, I'm not as depressed as I am when I'm in a miserable relationship. But when I'm happy in a relationship, I'm happy as fuck.
Yeah.
And I think the happiness comes from having that purpose and having that woman that's holding it down. But a lot of times, like, a woman would like take advantage of that. They would take that for granted and not elevate. And there's times where, like you were talking about, that discrepancy that happens when one person starts to elevate too much and the other person doesn't catch up.
Yeah.
I think with guys, we're allowed to elevate a little bit higher. With women, it's a shorter gap. Matter of fact, if you make your woman makes the same as the guy, she's already like, oh, yeah, because a guy can make 3, 4, 5 times more than the girl. It doesn't matter to him. But if a woman makes as much or more than the guy, that's a problem.
Again, it goes back to the gender roles. I think it's cultural as well. In some cultures, they see it like that. In others, they don't really care. But
what culture they don't care?
I feel like the Western culture, no?
Also,
I think in India the woman is the breadwinner.
In India, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. In some countries, the woman is the breadwinner. But I don't know. I feel like maybe in European cultures or Western cultures, I don't think there's that much fixation as there is, I feel, in the Latin cultures and the Middle Eastern cultures.
Yeah.
Like in the Middle Eastern culture, if your woman's making more money than you, you're getting bullied by all your friends. And you're being emasculated every day.
Yeah.
Almost. And even if no one's bullying you about it, between you and yourself, you feel a type of way. Like, you don't see Middle Eastern men being a stay-at-home dad. That doesn't exist.
Yeah, so talk to me about that. Like, it's just part of the culture they have to provide.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's I don't mind when a man is like, I don't want my woman to work. I want her to be at home. Absolutely. If you want to start a family, you can't be working full time and being a wife and being a mother and like doing all those things at the same time. It's not fair for the woman. So it depends on what you're looking for. So if he's going to be the breadwinner and he's going to be the provider and he's going to be doing all of those things to the fullest, then it's a normal expectation for the woman to be a homemaker and a mother and a wife and do that to the fullest. Maybe like when the kids grow up a little bit, you want to go do your thing, do your thing, and he'll be very supportive of it. But I don't know. That's just how it is in the Middle East. Sometimes, unfortunately, you come from a lower socioeconomic status and you cannot afford for one of the partners to be at home. You both need to work and you both need to figure it out, and all respect to that. But I'm just saying, like, in a perfect world, yes, a woman should get her education. She should have a career and all that stuff. But if you decide that you want to have kids, you kind of need to put that on hold a little bit and give the kids the care and love that they need. And then when they're a bit older and they don't require as much time and energy from you, go back to work.
Who cheats more, men or women?
Men.
Men.
I think so.
What makes you say that?
Because women cheat for emotional reasons. And
Exactly.
yeah, and men cheat because like sometimes it's like their ego, I can, or I'm bored, or it's like a challenge, like, oh, I can sleep with that girl.
So based on that argument, would you agree that you should not forgive a girl for cheating on you? Because when a girl cheats on you, women cheat with their heart, men cheat with their dicks.
Both are just as bad in my opinion.
Both are just as bad, but which one's worse?
Maybe the emotional. I'd have to give it to you. Yeah, probably.
What do you think men oftentimes when they cheat with a woman that's uglier? Because they just need to let that out. Like they just need, I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying, in my experience, like what I've seen is like women when they cheat, it's emotional, and it's over.
Yeah, because like when a woman gets cheated on, the first question she's gonna ask the guy is, do you love her?
Yeah, that's so true. And 9 times out of 10, he's like, nope, I just needed to empty my fucking balls.
Yeah. But when women cheat, what does the man ask her?
What does he have that I don't?
Maybe.
How long has this been going on?
That too. Yeah. No, I mean, if you cheat once, you're gonna cheat again.
You think so? Once a cheater, always a cheater?
I mean, people change. I'd like to believe people change. And sometimes when you're dumb and young, you make mistakes and you're not going to make the same mistake again. But I feel like if you're in a marriage and you have kids and you guys have a family together and one of you is selfish enough to go cheat and throw that all away, I don't think you should forgive them, no.
No, 100%.
Because there's so much at stake. Like you're building a life together.
Yeah. If you have kids, that's rough.
That's fucked up.
I think women cheat just as much, maybe if not more. They just are better at hiding it.
They are better at hiding. No, they're not, actually.
Yes, they are.
Wait.
Who's better at hiding cheating, men or women? I think women.
Yeah, men are dumb. No, because women plan more. I think they're better planners.
Okay.
So maybe, and they're more like emotionally in tune with their feelings, so they might be a little bit more careful. I don't know. But then men are also manipulative.
In what way?
Like men are manipulative. Men are manipulative.
So what does that have to do with the cheating?
Oh, baby,
though?
I didn't love her. It meant nothing to me. I was drunk. And I was just stressed, and she came on to me, and I didn't know what was happening, and I love you, and I want to be with you, and then he's going to love bombing her.
But that's why, like you said, like women hold the keys for sex.
Yeah.
So I think, like, if you really want to look at it from a perspective, like, when a man really, really cheats, is when he's providing for another female, paying her rent and stuff like that.
What?
Yeah.
What about a random hookup?
See, I think that's wrong, but I don't think that when guys do that, like it's not as heavy as when a woman does that.
Why? You're being so sexist right now.
Because it could have just been a physical thing. It wasn't like an emotional thing. Like 9 times out of 10, if a guy does cheat with a girl and he tells the wife, like, I don't love her, she means nothing to me, like, he's saying the truth. Like,
so you think you can be in love with someone and cheat on them, but you love them?
I believe so. I think a guy can.
Oh, but a woman can't.
No, because you just said a woman cheat emotionally.
Not all women. Sometimes it's not emotional. Sometimes it's the same thing. She just maybe her man's not making her feel wanted.
I think a guy could love his wife, and he can just fuck somebody randomly and not care, and it could be a mistake. Me personally, I'm not like want to cheat. I'm not.
You're defending them a lot.
Huh?
You're defending them a lot.
No, because I understand. Like I understand how like we think, and I understand. Like I understand that if a man is married, goes and meets some girl from the gym or whatever, they have sex. On his way home, he gets a text that, hey, that girl just fucking got T-boned on her way to the grocery store the same day you hooked up and she's dead. He might not care, like, to be honest with you.
You're a psychopath.
No, like, I'm just saying, like, he might not care that much about that girl, even though he just hooked up with her. Whereas women, they just, when they cheat, they're just so, that means a lot to them. And they start, like, to actually really resent their husbands.
Why?
See, I'm going to tell you one thing as well. This is going to be shocking, but there's no way you're going to disagree with me. A lot of times, if a guy cheats, he starts being nicer to his wife.
Okay.
When a woman cheats, she starts being more of a bitch to her husband.
Why?
Because she starts resenting him more. She starts to not like him and hate him, and she just can't stand the fact that she's with him and this other guy feels all her needs, her emotional needs and her physical needs. Whereas the guy is like, oh my God, I had post-nut clarity. I smashed that girl, but now I realize I love my girl, more, and I'm gonna provide for her. You never really see a guy that cheats and goes back and treats his wife like really, really bad and starts to like sleep downstairs or whatever. Like, but girls do that. Girls.
Maybe it's guilt. Maybe the girls feel more guilty, so she's pushing him away.
I don't think so. I think it's because she realized that by cheating that she doesn't love her man.
So then leave him.
Yeah. But that's what the difference. That's why when men cheat with their dicks, it's different. Now, if a man cheats emotionally, that means that he's providing for his side girl. That means he's paying her bills. That means, now that's seriously cheating.
Why do you equate? I feel like you're equating men's emotions and you're translating it into financial support.
No, because that's how men are providers, right?
Yeah.
So.
But there are broke men that cheat too.
Yeah, of course they are.
And they cheat emotionally.
You think so?
Yeah. Like, I feel like, I don't know. I've never been married. I don't have kids, so I don't know. But like, a lot of people, after they get married, after they have kids, everything changes. And then they go into this phase of a sexless marriage.
But it's usually the woman that starts a sexless marriage.
I don't know. Sometimes.
And that's why you got to keep them on their toes, and we got to go back to those.
So your wife just gave birth, and she's going through postpartum depression, and you want to keep her on her toes.
No, of course not. If somebody bears your child, you got to, like, fucking be as good as good as you can.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of people, after they have their first child, they go into that phase of a sexless marriage because they're both dealing with a lot, and it's a lot of change, and sometimes she's...
Yeah, but that's temporary. What about when a girl moves in?
Yeah, but that's when they cheat. How many times have you heard of, like, the man cheating while his wife was pregnant? Or, like, right after she gave birth? That's when they cheat. That's when things are changing. She's not giving him enough attention anymore. She's not taking care of herself as much anymore. He's not desiring her as much. She's tired. She's exhausted. She's going through postpartum depression. Her hormones are up and down. And then he just wants to be selfish and go cheat on her. It's so common. You could probably Google it. I feel like that's when a lot of the men cheat. You were talking about the reality TV shows. In the reality TV shows, like 90% of the time, that's when the man cheats. And she says it in the reunion. You cheated on me when I was pregnant with our child. You cheated on me and I'm there with our newborn baby. Like.
Yeah, I never knew that perspective because I never had a girl pregnant. So.
Yeah, that you know of.
Huh?
You know.
Yeah. No, but I'm not one to cheat. Like, and I say this confidently that no ex is gonna come here and be like, he was cheating on me. Not really. I think.
DM me if you.
Yeah, DM her. Like, if you think liking a fucking picture is cheating, then yeah, of course I cheated.
Oh my God, you know what's crazy? There was this one girl. Oh my God, if she sees this, she's gonna know I'm talking about her. She hates my guts. One time we were all hanging out at the beach, and her boyfriend was there with us, and this girl randomly says to all of us, Do you think if your man is watching porn that he's cheating on you? And like she was directing the question more to the girls and she was asking it with all this confidence, you know, waiting for us to like give the answer she wanted to hear. And then me and two of my girlfriends were there and all three at the same time were like, no. And then her man's like, yes, I told you. And she's like, what? What do you mean? It's cheating. But we're like, no, it's not. Like,
Yeah, no.
no.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't. Yeah, that's fucked up. She's probably a narcissist.
Probably.
Yeah. Well, you had some questions that we came up with last time.
Let's see.
I think I already asked one of them. That was who cheats more, man or woman. I think woman. I think they probably just cheat just as much, but women are better at hiding it.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay, which professions have the highest rates of cheating?
Which professions have the highest rates of cheating?
Yeah.
Nurses. For females, I would say nurses, number one.
Okay.
Teachers.
Teachers?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't fucking know. I don't make the rules. Nurses, teachers, flight attendants.
And you don't have a reasoning. It's just 6 buzz posting memes.
Well, I think, I guess from my experience, yeah, nurses for sure.
From your experience.
Yeah,
Have
nurses.
cheated on you?
Maybe I've been on the other side, and I've been cheated by a teacher,
Oh shit.
and flight attendants. Everybody know they get passed around more. Come
That's
on.
a very bold statement.
Yeah, well,
I'm
if you're on Tinder, you see all the flight attendants like.
because they're traveling.
Yeah, there you go.
They're-
Case in point.
I'm gonna take it more from a mental health perspective.
Okay.
Because that's where I'm at.
Okay.
And you're gonna be surprised by my answer because it does kind of say you're right in certain things, but I think it's not the profession. It's more like people who are in jobs that have higher levels of stress, more irregular hours, and less stability tend to cheat more because that level of high stress affects your impulse control. So you have less impulse control and you need more validation. So flight attendants, yes. Doctors, yes. Lawyers, anything that's like a very high profession with high stress, I think they tend to cheat a bit more.
What about men? Professions, like what professions do they cheat more?
Definitely lawyers because it's all about their egos.
Oh yeah.
100%. My dad's always like, don't date a lawyer, don't date a doctor. And I'm like, but isn't that like the Arab dream? Like you always want your daughter to date a doctor or an engineer. And my dad's like, nope, you can't. Because the doctor wanted to take me out. And my dad's like, absolutely not. And I was like, why? And then he's like, you need a lot of attention and affection and emotional support and time. And the doctor's not going to give you that. And then with the lawyers, I think, yeah, it's the ego. They're crazy. They'll do anything to stroke their egos. They're lawyers to stroke their egos, I feel.
Okay.
If you're not a lawyer with a big ego, you're a bad lawyer. In my opinion.
Hey, that's a true. I can see that. I agree with that.
Hard respect.
Yeah, like if I was to hire a lawyer, I want a lawyer with the biggest
Massive
ego.
Ugh, that's so hot. See, that's why I'm single.
Yeah.
I'm attracted to that, but I know it's not good for me. So then I'm just gonna admire.
Why is that
away.
not good for you?
He's gonna cheat on me. We're just talking about it.
Why is it about to just not let him?
What do you mean not let him? If he wants to cheat, he's gonna cheat.
Yeah, so why would you rather share
Absolutely.
a man or settle down with a loser that can't?
No, neither.
Do you think
Neither.
you can say that your man is loyal if he has no options?
Absolutely not. Everyone has options, all the time.
No, not every guy.
And no, every guy has an option somewhere.
You think so?
Yeah, I do think so.
There's a lot of men that are just
They're not out there. Do you know there are ugly and I hate saying like fat as like a negative way because some women are into that too and we're not like I don't want to fat.
I don't know. I don't think any woman's
But
into fat guys.
I'm trying to be like politically correct. But there are guys that are not fit and they're ugly and they're even short and they're fucking girls left and right.
Well, that's because their bank account is fat.
No. Because he's funny, he's charismatic, he knows to tell her what she wants to hear, he has personality.
So you think a broke, chubby, ugly guy?
I mean, you can't have all the negative traits in one man and then still expect him to get all the ladies. But I feel like you can make it work. You don't have to have it all.
I think I've seen those relationships, and I think a lot of times the woman likes that man in the sense of like he'll never cheat on me.
But that's the thing.
They probably having sex once a month, because I've had conversations with uglier guys with like pretty girlfriends, and they're like, yeah, just once a month maybe, but and he can't do better. And I promise you, I almost guarantee you, the girl, she's got a side guy, a bad boy.
Come on.
You think in a relationship, when you're having sex once a month, they're both happy?
No, I'm sure they're not. But it doesn't necessarily mean that they both have a side.
Well, if the girls,
sometimes you have a low sex drive, you have a low libido, you're too exhausted and tired. And
if the girl holds the keys for sex, usually when in a sexless marriage or a sexless relationship, it's because the woman is the one not putting out.
No, I agree. Yeah.
So you really think that she's just having sex with him that one time of the month?
Sometimes, yeah.
And she's not sleeping around with anybody?
I don't think so, no. Especially if she's a mom. I feel like she's just exhausted. She's so exhausted and tired, and maybe she hates herself, and she doesn't feel attractive, and she hates how she looks, so she doesn't want to have sex with anybody, not just her husband. She doesn't feel desirable. It's an inner thing, and that's why, oh my God, I encourage so much, therapy. When you're pregnant, when you're having kids, go do couple counseling. Even if you think your relationship is perfect right now, the minute the hormones are gonna start shooting and you're gonna give birth and whatever happens, your life is gonna change. And it's not easy. You need to be going to couples therapy for preventative counseling.
I never really put that much thought into
it's so hard for a marriage to survive during that phase. And a lot of people, they step away from each other for so long, and then they find their way back, maybe, if they're lucky, or they'll just stay that way.
See, I want to be a father.
Yeah.
I want to have kids, and I think I'm going to be a great father.
I think so.
But I just think differently when it comes to the girl being pregnant. I just think that my life will be about the kids. I think life is not about you anymore. Now, there's only so much that you can put up with. I mean, because some girls abuse it too. Like I remember my friend had when his girl was pregnant, she would hit him and stuff. So
that's crazy.
Yeah. So then I was like, oh yeah, I don't know about that. So how do you prepare for that?
Counseling. I say couple counseling and having that conversation, having the expectations and needs very clear with you guys. Even without having children, you should always have that conversation and you should write it down. What are the expectations? What are your rights and duties in this relationship? And I say, you need to always have a fixed date night, no matter what happens. And I literally gave this advice to my friend who just gave birth. Yes, and I told her, I was like, no matter what, even if the sky is falling down, let's say it's a Thursday. Every freaking Thursday night, we're going on a date. We had a fight. We hate each other. I told her, even if you don't speak the whole way there, you're not talking. You're in the car. You're like this on your window. He's like that on his window. You guys are not speaking. Still go on the date. You spent the whole day fighting. You spent the whole week not speaking to each other. Still go on that date. Fight in the restaurant. I don't care. Go. You still, because that's the action that's saying I'm still trying. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And you need to also not forget yourself as well, because it's so hard for mothers after they give birth finding their identity again. It's this new identity, it's this new world. It's very difficult, and I'm sure it's difficult also for the man. But the woman is the one who's now at home and her body's recovering and her hormones and oxytocin, endorphins, everything. It's all over the place. It's so hard to navigate, and that's why postpartum is a thing. And then a man's like, oh, I'm not having sex. It's okay, do you want to be in her shoes? Do you want to just push out a human?
Who loves harder, men or women?
Both. No, it doesn't matter. I feel like when you love, that's it. It doesn't matter.
I think men.
Ugh, give me a break. No.
Well, okay. Who moves on easier, faster? Man or woman?
If they're in love, probably the woman.
She moves on.
Yeah, because she's gonna get distracted with all the options, and also because we have a timeline as well. A man can be 40 and he can decide to have kids. He can be 40, he can go date a 20-year-old. It doesn't matter.
Because have you ever met a man who like still hang up on his ex from 10 years ago?
Yeah.
I've never met a woman that's hang up on her
No,
ex.
I have. No.
You have?
Yeah. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like moving on, maybe like yes, being in a new relationship because we have a timeline. Like for a woman, after you reach a certain age, you can't have the standards that you have anymore. You're not going to be able to have kids. You can't ask for all the things that you want a man to bring to the table. Because that's just how it is, unfortunately. It's not fair, but that's the reality. And the sooner we realize and we accept that, the easier our life will be.
So the problem a lot of men have is that you only start embracing that timeline when you're like very close to it. And so now, like, for example, I'm 35. If I meet a 32-year-old girl, she's going to be so like 100 miles an hour, you know? But then the girl that maybe a slightly younger, well, she's exploring all her options.
That's fair.
So, but I think that a 35-year-old man has all the options.
It's true. Yeah.
A 35-year-old man is equal in terms of options as a 23-year-old female.
Maybe. Yeah.
If he's done the work.
I don't know. I mean, I've been approached by men in their early 40s, and I'm like, absolutely not.
Why?
Because what were you doing all this time? You had 40 years to figure it out. Why are you trying to go out with a 26-year-old and you're a 40-year-old? Like, what were you doing when you were 26? You know what I mean? And then it's also like maybe he's a great guy and he was just focusing on his career and he was working really hard. Fair, all power to you. But it's like, I don't want to have 10 good years and then become your unpaid primary caregiver. I'm sorry. That's not fair.
Okay. So you're looking at it from that perspective of like he's gonna get older than me faster.
Yeah, like I want.
I don't think so. I mean, what 75? He's 75 and you're 65.
No, not. It's like it was like 50 and how many years?
Oh, 20 years.
20 years difference. No, I'm not gonna do that. That's not fair. It's not fair for me. It's not fair for my kids.
Yeah, 20 years. I think 10 years. 10 years is a good. Yeah.
10 years is perfect. It's ideal because women also mature faster than men.
Yeah.
So it's great. You guys are on the same. Like when I speak to men my age, I'm like, oh my God, you're such a dumbass. So 10 years is great.
Yeah. 10 years is a good, healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm noticing that too now. Like I wouldn't want to date somebody bigger age gap than 10 years.
Yeah. And it's also like, it depends. Like someone can be my age, but he's been through a lot and he's a hustler and he's a go-getter. He's smart. So yeah, we could totally meet on the same level.
What's the other question?
Let's see.
I like how you think. I don't think a lot of women think like you because your culture, right? So I think cultures and religions and stuff have a lot of way of like shaping the way a woman think. Like you haven't been poisoned by the westernized world.
You think that?
In a way, I do because you're very career oriented, but you also have those like gender roles, like really, really, like you know exactly what they mean.
Yeah.
So I think if you're in a position where you meet your man, but you're having this fight because you're always working on your career.
No, I'm honestly like if the perfect man is like let's get married and just pause everything that you're doing. Absolutely, I don't
You get
mind.
pregnant, you will just devote.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Because for me, like, it's like I think about the bigger picture, like 20 years from now. Would I rather be a business mogul with like a $20 million net worth and this huge, amazing, successful business, but then I don't have a family? Or would I rather be none of that? And I have my family and I raise my kids to be great kids and my husband loves me and adores me and we have a nice little family together. I would definitely choose that option.
Yeah.
So I know what's more important for me and what's a priority, but I can't sit around and wait for that because I'm self-reliant. So I have to make my own money.
So your career is like an insurance policy for whatever
100%.
reason you don't meet
It is an
anybody.
insurance policy, but it is also part of it is self-fulfillment, you know, like, and thank God, like I'm very grateful. I've had a lot of experiences and opportunities where I was able to prove myself So I feel very secure in that sense, where like I know if I lose everything tomorrow, I can make it back again because I did it all on my own and I earned it by myself. So I feel like I've already fulfilled that. Yes, there's more I want to fulfill. I want to open my own clinical practice or whatever. But is that the end all be all? No. For me, the priority would be to start a family. And you could always go back to that because I already have my degree. I already worked. I have the experience. I'm pursuing my master's. So I would love to be at home and study and take care of my kids. And then when they're off to school, I could go and have my practice. It doesn't matter. But like, it's funny that you mentioned the religion and the culture, because I feel like for men of my culture and my religion, they might see me more modern and Western. And then for Western men, I seem more traditional and Middle Eastern. So it's like trying to find that balance.
And what's your Middle Eastern, right? Arab?
I'm Lebanese, yeah.
You're Lebanese.
Yeah.
Christian, Muslim? Muslim? Okay. Would you date outside of your religion?
No.
No, eh?
I just wouldn't do that to my parents. Like, it's gonna be a whole uphill battle. Like, obviously, like, if I'm in a situation where it's like, oh, this is my best friend and we suddenly fell in love under the moonlight, sure, I'm gonna go fight for it. But to begin with, I'm just not gonna start something that might hurt me and hurt him down the way, because my parents just don't want that, and I'm not gonna piss off my dad or someone.
Yeah. And that's good to have. Like, I want to have a daughter like that.
Aww. Aww, that's so cute. But that doesn't leave me with a lot of options.
What do you mean? There's a lot of Muslims out there.
Lebanese.
Oh,
Muslim.
Lebanese. Yeah.
He doesn't have to be Lebanese, but like more similar to our culture, because I'm so into my culture.
Okay.
So like maybe like Jordanian, Palestinian, Syrian.
Right.
But then how many of those guys that are Muslim, not in their 40s, are as driven as I am, if not more, and career oriented, but then not narcissistic and fucking around? Because that's the thing. The successful guys, they're fucking around. They're having fun. They're enjoying their success, and great, enjoy it as much as you want.
So I'll tell you one thing. See how that bothers you?
It doesn't bother me.
No, but there's a part of it that bothers you. Just like there's a part of like the 23-year-old woman with all the options bothers men.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, because it's
like,
the
same thing.
It's like, you know, like we should be together. But then they want to prioritize fucking around now because they can.
The same thing with the women that are younger.
Okay,
they want to prioritize that.
Your point.
It's not a point. It's just like an observation.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we look at these women, they're so beautiful and they're young and everything. And a lot of guys talk shit about them and whatever it is, because like we can't lock them down. And maybe it's like we just can't accept that we don't have what it takes to lock them down. And so like women are usually, the people who you date are usually a mirror of who you are. So if you start seeing a lot of like guys women that are not with their shit together, or it's just because that's why you attract them. Maybe you need to level up your game to attract higher quality people.
Maybe. But you know what? Like recently, like, because I dated a lot last summer. Like I went on a couple dates, whatever. And I met the most amazing men. Like, they're great. Oh my God, they're so great. But it just wasn't there. That spark, it just wasn't there. And I'm like, okay, maybe like I need to go on a second date.
Was he not good
like
looking?
like even some of them were attractive too, like some more than others. But it was like, maybe if I give it like a second date or a third date, like maybe like, but it just wasn't there. And I didn't want to waste my time. I didn't want to waste his time. So I was like, no. And then, oh my God. And then I don't know if like you want to post this or not. Then I told you, I go to Lebanon, and that's the thing. I don't want to do long distance. And I've had so many friends that like we've grown up together. We know each other. Like I would 100% date that guy if he was here, but then we just never did because he's in a different country, whatever. I'm like, oh, I don't want to do long distance. Even Montreal, Toronto, I met great guys there, and I'm just like, no, I don't want to do long distance. I go to Lebanon. Oh my God, I meet this guy. Like the minute we looked at each other, it was instant. It was instant love, instant.
So what? You're not
passion.
dating him anymore? Long story. We don't have to go there.
No, it's just it's the life conditions that don't permit the evolution of the relationship. You know,
Okay.
like let's be realistic. Like we can't build something if he's gonna always stay there and I'm always gonna be here. Like how is that gonna work? And I can't move there, or at least not now. And he can't move here because of like his family and certain things that he has to take care of. So we had a conversation and we came to, because in the beginning, like when we first met and stuff, I was like, listen, like we don't have to make this more than it is. Like let's just not date. Let's just not go there because I don't want to be in a long distance relationship. I communicated. And then he was like, no, like I'll come and I'll be there with you. So I was like, okay, if that's what you want, then sure, absolutely. I'm willing to do that. But he had, situations in his family where he couldn't leave, and he's not going to leave anytime soon. So, and that's what I said to you earlier. Like, if I was 23 right now, or if I was 22, 100% I'm waiting. What do you need? 3 years, 4 years, 5 years? I'm going to wait for you. Sure, no problem. But I'm 27 right now. If I want to start a family and have kids, I have maximum like 3 more years, I feel, for me to be able to maintain the standards that I want to maintain and pick a partner. So then we're like, okay, so then we should just break up, and if anything changes, it changes. We broke up, but we still kept talking because I still loved him and he still loved me.
That's cute.
And I want to be supportive and be there for him, but that's the reality, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, what was the other question?
The other questions. One of them we answered. It was who cheats more effectively, men or women?
Right.
Let's see. Are people with mental health issues undateable?
It depends. Like borderline personality disorder women are very hard to date.
So are men.
Yeah, I agree. I think I haven't met men with borderline personality disorders. I've met bipolar men. I've met like guys on the spectrum, I guess. But yeah, I think BPD is more common.
BPD is the worst. The narcissistic guy, he had BPD too.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because it's like they love you one day, they hate you the next.
And it's like they go manic.
Manic.
Up and down the manic. It's crazy.
And they hypersexuality and they go sleep around not thinking about it.
Yeah. Or they want to sleep with you 24/7.
Oh, yeah, that
and
too.
They're so insecure. Oh my God. And it's like, and with men, it's scary too. With women as well, because oh my God, that's going to be a mother, But with men as well, because the manic narcissism combination with BPD, he's going to go on spending sprees. He's going to blow all his money just because he can or he wants, or it's that love bombing or whatever. And then he's going to go into another, oh my God, I got to lock in. I got to make money. I got to work hard. I can't spend on it. He goes back and forth from one extreme.
Yeah, they're usually high achievers. They're usually very...
Because they have something to prove. They're so insecure. And again, that mother...
You think that comes from insecurity?
The high achievers? It depends. You people can be high achievers for many reasons, but I think it's mostly from adversity.
See, I think... I think I have a lot of those traits, the high achiever... and maybe I had BPD. I don't fucking know. I don't think so.
No, you don't.
But no, I've had the I guess if you talk about trauma and the mom relationship with the moms and stuff like that, I do see that. I do see attachment, different types of attachment. Yeah, all of those things. Just because I have my own story. My mom left when I was 12, and
I'm sorry.
The whole thing. Yeah, it's fine. So, but I've done a lot of work on myself, and so I can say though I'm not proud of myself because there's been at least a couple of relationships where I know I put the girls through hell. I think 80% of them could say I'm a great guy, and there's maybe 1 or 2 that would say 2 of them actually.
So what I was saying earlier about the men with the maternal mother's wound. You related to that. Yeah,
and I think you have to do a lot of work on yourself and date yourself first, because you do sabotage. I remember, I had a woman that loved me, man. I had a woman that loved me. I'm happy that one of them has 2 kids, The other one, I don't know. I haven't spoken to her, but she had to go to a therapist and everything. Yeah, and you know what that was from? It was from me not allowing myself to date her because I guess I just didn't want it to get hurt. Oh. You know what I mean? So
pushed her away.
I kept pushing her away, and
you self-sabotaged it.
Fuck yeah, the two girls I'm telling you. Yeah, and I mean, I'm not like that anymore. That was just a period of time. I had rage. I had anger because I think I had an incident that triggered back all of the trauma, I guess, that I had. So But now I'm trying not to. Even my last relationship, I was always nice to her. It was just like we just couldn't see eye to eye in terms of like our vision and our drive, and but I wasn't toxic with the last one, and that was like 2 years, 2.5 years.
But
that we
see,
lasted.
after you worked on yourself, you stopped projecting all of your issues onto other women.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like when I think from the age of like 29 to like 32, yeah, that was the worst, Chris. The fuck boy, did not care about women, I was just fucking around. I think I was just, but you know what I think? I think guys, we are a different man to every different woman. Because I have
Don't get me started.
huh?
Don't get me started on that.
I'll tell you one thing. There might be a woman out there that could tell you that I'm the biggest fucking simp, beta male, emotional guy ever. There are girls that might tell you that I am the most toxic, douchebag, piece of shit, insensitive. There's a girl that could tell you I'm the coolest, nicest, most well-grounded, good head on his shoulders. So frequency. This is why it's so hard to date. This is why when you meet somebody, it clicks. You ever met somebody that you're in a relationship with and you're like, man, I know if we had met 10 years ago, this would have been a fucking nuclear bomb.
Oh my God!
But
yes,
we're dating now.
And that guy I was telling you about, he kept saying that to me too, because he was like, oh my God, I wish I met you when I was at a better point in my life, like because everything he was going through, he just couldn't help it, like he couldn't control the situation.
Yeah, the problem is when that changes, you're not gonna want him. You know how many women told me when I was 23, I wish I met you like when you were like 30s, because I just want to enjoy my life. I'm 35, they're in their 30s, they want me, and I can't look past that because it doesn't look genuine anymore.
Yeah.
And part of me is like, oh, I want to do my old self a favor and go back to that girl, because when I was 22, I had a huge crush on her. Well, I don't have that crush anymore, and you kind of like rejected me when you were at your peak, and now I feel like I'm on my peak. It's like you didn't have me in your prime. I'm not gonna have you in your decline.
Oh wow, no, that's not what I was referring to. That's very different.
No,
Crazy.
but I think every man is a different man to every woman, and so when you find something that hits and it's perfect, don't fight it. Because I've had those relationships where everything was fine and I self-sabotaged it. And I regret it, because they were great
Maybe
women.
because you didn't love yourself too, and you didn't believe that you could have that. So you're like, let me control the outcome and end it now, rather than wait and let it hurt me.
100%. I've done that.
Yeah. But it's also so unfair.
Control the outcome. That's crazy.
It's also unfair sometimes because a woman will go be patient, stand by a man, help him, build him up.
Yeah.
And then once all that is done and he's a better man, he's going to go be a better man for another woman. He will leave that one that stood by him through everything, and he will go be a better man for the new girl. Like, it happens both ways.
Yeah. Yeah, it's sad. That's what there's a quote in one of the books that I've read that talk about hypergamy doesn't care.
So what?
So it's something called hypergamy. Hypergamy is a woman's inclination to seek somebody of a higher status than who they're with, right?
Yeah.
So women usually date up. If they leave a man, it's for a guy who's better, not for a guy who's worse.
Yeah.
And so there's a quote that says that hypergamy doesn't care. So meaning you could have taken a single mom with debt and you helped her get out of debt. You helped her raise her child. You helped her, because her car insurance was through the roof. So you help her with all of these things. And then she leaves you. Like people have this crazy, relationships are not like a house where you build equity. There's not equity. Relationship equity is a myth. Just because I took out the garbage so many times doesn't mean that now I have this fucking equity in our relationship. Or just because you're as a woman, like you put out this many times, or like you were patient with me, that way we can count all of those things for a relationship.
Absolutely.
It doesn't mean fuck all.
Absolutely.
Every day is like a new day. What you've done in the past does not matter. So if you're a man and your girl had a bunch of debt, you're like, baby, I'm gonna hold it down. I'm gonna pay for everything, and you're gonna pay your credit cards. And then in your mind, it's like, I'll do that. I have relationship equity. This girl would never leave me. She's still gonna leave. She could still live. And you're saying guys do that too as well.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
I know, it's so fucked up. And that's why I feel like me and my girlfriends, like all my girlfriends, like they're all good girls. We're all dating to marry, whatever. But it's that struggle where like, oh, you were that girl once, where you gave your prime years and your best years to a man, building him up and being there for him and believing in his potential. And then a couple of years after, now he has all this confidence and now he believes in himself and now he knows he's a great guy. When he met you, he was a loser and you made him believe in who he is. And now he's going to go, you build a man for another woman. It happens. And then like we get stuck in this in between of, okay, so do I give this guy a chance and wait it out and support him and be there for him and believe in his potential? Or no, do I just go for the one who's already built and done and ready for me? Mm-hmm. You know, I feel like it depends on the age as well. Like when you're younger, absolutely. I used to believe in that so much. And I have done that. I have been that girl. Like, you know, my friends would be like, oh, but this rich guy who's like a freaking millionaire wants to marry you. Why are you with this broke guy? And I'm like, I love him. I believe in him. He's a good guy. He's this, he's that, blah, blah, blah. I don't know if that's good or bad. But I used to believe, you know, like when you both struggle together and you build something together, it makes a relationship so much stronger. And then you get to enjoy life together later on. For me, that's like what would happen in a perfect world. But like I said, women have a timeline. So you can't do that for every guy. And that's why I believe we should be with men based on who they are right now, not on the potential of who they can become. And I don't know if that's fair or not. And it's like if someone shows you a picture of who they are, believe them. Don't hold a paintbrush, keep trying to paint over it. And make them look like a different version than who they really are. If he shows you who he is, believe him.
Well, date them for who they are. Not you don't want to date somebody's potential.
For his potential, absolutely. Because then the woman is upset and she's pissed off. Oh, but he didn't do this. But he was never gonna be that guy. He was never gonna do that. You wanted him to, but no matter how. And that's the thing too. Like no matter how badly you believe in someone and how badly you want them to do better for themselves. If they don't see it, it's never going to happen. Just walk away. Why do single people love giving relationship advice?
Well, I'm single. I usually don't give relationship advice. I usually just tell people what not to do.
Yeah.
So they don't end up single. like myself. I mean, what do we... I mean, coaches don't play, they say, right?
Mm. I feel like it's just because it's easier to analyze the situation when you're not in it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like you're on the outside of the situation and it's so easy if you're just like, oh, but do this, do that, blah, blah, blah. That's why if you're in a relationship, you should never talk about your problems with your friends. Don't bitch about your man to your friends. Don't bitch about your woman to your friends and to your family.
Well, when you bitch about your partner, guys shouldn't do that either because when you bitch about your partner, you're training your friends to dislike your partner.
Yeah.
And if you show up with your partner, you're going to look like an idiot. It's like, why you keep taking him back?
Yeah, I've made that mistake. And it's like, no, but this is what happened. This is what actually
No, he
happened.
changed.
And it's also because, like, honestly, like, even if they did do those things, like, you never know. Like, you guys know everything that is going on in their relationship. But then if you're just telling your friends the bad stuff, that's all they see. And like, oh, you're hurting her. And then it's like, we don't want you to be with her because you're such a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's also disrespectful, I feel like, and I learned that. Like,
it is disrespectful.
Because I used to, like, I'll tell my best friend, oh, I trust my best friend, I'm going to tell her what's going on. Yeah. You know, I'm just venting. But I feel like, yeah, it is disrespectful for your partner. It's disrespectful to yourself as well. And thank God, like, I have amazing friends, but not all your friends are your friends. And not all your friends are happy for you. Sometimes they see you have a good thing going on. They don't want that for you. Wow. And they're going to encourage you to break up that relationship. Like, especially if you know you have those party friends, those drinking buddies, those friends that are just there for a good
single
time.
Friends will keep your girl single.
They don't want to see you in a relationship. They don't want to lose their wingman. They want to keep you single.
Yeah.
And it makes them feel better about themselves.
Same thing with girls.
100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Single friends keep their friends single.
Yeah. I mean, I matchmake all my friends. So.
But are you like when they're having problems? Are you like just leave him?
No, I used to be.
Okay.
To be honest, yes. Like one of my friends once, she was married, but they didn't have kids or anything. But she called me. She's like, I'm in a U-Haul and I'm leaving.
Oh shit.
And I was like, leave his ass. Yeah, you can live with me. Blah, blah, blah. But it depends. I mean, if he's abusive and he's a piece of shit, absolutely, I'm gonna encourage you to leave him.
Yeah.
But if he's a good guy and I know he loves you, no, I'm gonna try to keep you guys together. But also, you don't want to say all the positive things about your man and your woman to your friends too, because then they're gonna envy you.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes sharing your wins, it could come off as like bragging.
Yeah. Okay, Chris. Should you sleep with someone on the first date?
I don't think that changes anything. I've had great relationships. Actually, the girls I told you about, I slept with them on the first date.
That's crazy.
And yeah, listen, I don't think that matters, to be honest.
You don't think that men take that as, oh, you're being cheap, you're being easy. If you sleep with me on the first date, you're gonna sleep with any guy on the first date?
No, I think that's just about the guy. Would you sleep with yourself on the first date?
Me? If I was a guy? Absolutely.
Yeah, me too.
I would try.
If I was a girl, yeah. Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I don't think men or women should sleep with each other on the first date.
I think that the moment you start putting arbitrary rules on sex, then you make that like a negotiating tool, and I don't like that.
No, not a negotiation. It's because when you sleep with someone,
Listen, if that's who you are,
attachment.
as a person, and you made every other man wait, great. But if you have had first date sex, and now, so now, like for example, you're 35, I'm 35, right? If I meet
don't call me 35.
No, you're not you, me. I'm the old guy here. So I'm 35. I meet a girl, and she tells me that she wants to wait. We're having all this great chemistry, but she wants to wait. Then in my head, I'm like, I would ask, have you ever had sex on the first date? If she says yes,
Even if she did, she's not gonna say yes. I'm telling you, Chris.
a lot of girls do,
Oh shit.
and most of them do, and they shouldn't.
That's what I thought. I was like, absolutely, they're gonna lie.
Yeah, no, they shouldn't. I mean, they shouldn't lie. They shouldn't do like if you're gonna do something, do it because that's who you are. Not do it because you're fucking
but sometimes people are like that.
redeemed yourself.
Sometimes people are like
I
that.
don't want to wait. Like I've had women that tell me I slept with my ex on the first day and I gave him threesomes and stuff. And so in my head I'm like, okay, would you sleep? You wouldn't sleep with me on the first date, and you wouldn't do that for me? No, okay. So I can never marry you. I will never date you. Okay, I can't have a girl and give you the best of me when the best of you was given to another man.
Maybe
when
she was 20 and stupid.
It doesn't matter. If I know that there's a man out there at the mall, if I go to the mall with you and there's another man that can look at my girl and say, I got more out of this girl than you, that will fuck my ego. How can you sit here and tell me you give this other guy more than you would ever give me?
But sexual is not like the epitome of everything. Maybe
That's what it is, though, for girls. What else is she gonna? What else are you gonna give? Buy things for him?
Cook for you, love you, be there for you.
Fuck that.
Oh my god.
You give somebody more than me. I wouldn't. You know what? I had a girl one time, and we were getting along. You know. And I think sometimes my ego. Listen, I know when I'm gonna say something that's gonna kibosh the whole thing, and whatever. I don't care at that point. If I say it, I say it. So I knew I'm like, this comment will kill this date, and I'm gonna go home and nothing's gonna happen, but my ego's gonna feel great. This girl was talking about, yeah, like I'm past that. Like I slept with my ex on the first day, and I gave him threesomes and stuff. So I was like, would you give me threesomes if we date? And she goes, no. And I said, that's fine. I said, I put a ring on somebody else's finger, and I'll never put a ring on your finger. I just said that. I knew that was going to kibosh the whole thing. But I said it.
That's fucked. Because people
But
change, Chris.
I'm not gonna take a girl that gave another man her
No,
best.
but people change. Like when you're young and stupid. Like I know a lot of girls who like did that, and now they're like, no, I want to be serious with someone. You don't sleep with someone on the first date that you want to be serious with. And
Yeah,
you
no,
wanna
but the
marry.
idea that another man got that out of you, and there's another man out there
That
that
was a
can.
different version of who she was.
It doesn't matter. It just fucking bothers me. I don't
Oh
want
my
that.
God.
If you did something, that's why I don't even fucking admit it. To be honest with you, don't admit that shit. I'm telling you, as a guy, you're gonna go and tell a person that you hooked up. Don't admit to doing things that you will never do to your man, because the idea of another man getting those things out of you and you're not giving them to me will fuck me up. I will not wanna.
But then what's the point of learning from your mistakes? Not just
That's not-
sexually. Not sexually. Anything. Like there are things that I have done for someone in a relationship, not physical. But I would never do that again because I'm like, I was wrong. I should not have done that.
Yeah, no, but those are different things. So like this, for guys, what you do with them sexually is huge. It's huge.
So should a woman sleep with a guy on the first date? Yes or no? In general.
I think you should not fight. I think here's the thing, though. Like if you like the guy and there's chemistry, you shouldn't fight it. You should not fight it, because you shouldn't go on a first date with somebody you don't like.
So you're not gonna judge her and be like, oh, she fucked me on the first date?
No, because
on,
I
be
think that's
honest.
no, because I think that's a me thing. I think that's a me thing. I think you broke your rules for me. You know, I think if the day was great and I felt the chemistry that you felt, then yes, 100%. Because we both feel it. Like I've had dates when I don't sleep with a girl. We both just not feeling it. You know? And then I also had what they made me wait, and we had sex and I fucking hated it. And now I'm stuck with, I'm like, how do I get rid of this girl? We could have gone through this a while back, but now like we have this investment of time and we don't have sexual chemistry. So
I don't know. Like it's again, like
Listen.
when I go ahead.
because you I feel like I'm talking too much, so I'll let
No,
you speak.
no.
I think if you do that with everybody, great.
Yeah.
If
I agree.
If you just now doing it because you're a good girl, fuck that. It's like you see this guy's on. I'm on Tinder and I see this girl. It's like, oh yeah, you want to be the girl that ran through the whole fucking football team, but now you want to be a good girl, and now you want to make me wait. Fuck, I'm not putting up with that. Like, fuck no. If you had your past and now you want to fix your moral compass and redeem yourself of all the whole shit you did,
Oh my god.
and use me as that because you're gonna make me wait, fuck that. I'm not doing that.
But then it should apply the same for men too.
Yeah, sure. If
Men
you want to
will fuck
hold,
around, but then they want to be with a virgin. What the hell?
yeah, I don't want to be with a virgin, but you know, I just don't want to be. I want to be with somebody. Would I care about her past? Yeah, I wouldn't want a girl
Okay,
that's.
see, you care about her past, and then you still want her to sleep with you on the first date.
Yeah, because
Isn't that a reflection? Let's say she lied, okay? She lied to you. And she said, no, I've never, or maybe she actually didn't, whatever.
right.
But if she slept with you on the first date, like, you want to sit here and convince me that that's not going to make you wonder in your head if she's done that with someone before. And you're not going to think,
No.
oh, she slept with me on the first date. But then if a woman.
You know how hard it
woman
is to
made
get a
you
first
wait-
date? Listen, first dates are not just the first date like it used to be. Like nowadays, like you make a Hinge account, you're gonna have 500 matches. Your first date with a guy, there's a lot that you spoke to. Like it's not first day like it used to be before, where you meet somebody at the library or you meet somebody at school and then you go on a date. Okay, that's different. Now it's like you had that conversation. You have to, as a man, by the time you go on a first date, she's already spoken to a bunch of other guys, and you kept something about you got her attention. For you as a man to go out with on a date with a girl, you already passed hundreds of guys, hundreds of DMs, and unsolicited date, you know.
That's true.
And so by the time like you pass all of that, you go validate your chemistry in person. I would say, me personally, like I don't go on a lot of dates, and when I do, it's like 90% of the time we sleep together, and and it doesn't change where the relationship goes.
Yeah.
I've had relationships that we sleep on the first date, and we date for years.
Maybe because you're not Arab. If you were Arab, I think it would be different. Because
May-
Arab men,
maybe.
they are like that. They are judgy like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I know like some of my Arab male friends, like they'll put it in anything that moves, and then he'll be like, "Oh, I want to marry a good girl." It's like, but have you been a good boy though? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, I know. I think by the time you go on a date now, if you meet somebody online, you've spoken, you've texted, you've had phone calls. It's not really a good date. It's not really a first date.
See, that's why I'm so attached to that guy, because we met in person. It was organic.
Yeah.
It was instant.
Yeah.
Ugh. Fuck.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think you should sleep with somebody if the moment feels right.
Well, the moment felt right, and we freaking held out. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna be that girl.
Fuck that.
Don't put that.
Or it
Don't
goes
put
to
that
you.
right there. Okay. Okay, this is good. Our traditional dating rules only apply to men who are less attractive.
Traditional-
Better boys.
Traditional gender roles?
Traditional rules, dating rules. Like, you don't sleep with a man on the first date. Do those only apply to better boys? Or boys that are less attractive?
Well, women break the rules for guys that they deemed alpha. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Because that's the whole. What do you think memes? The funniest memes are the most relatable memes.
Yeah.
And which memes are funny? When the girl is like, "I don't usually do this," and then, whoa, you get like the whole fucking thing. You know what I mean? It's like the
Or it's like they say like her pet is there like staring at her, judging her.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, this is my 50th.
Listen,
step
women are
back.
gonna break the rules for the guys that they think has their shit together. I'm telling you, I've had girls drive 2 hours here. We sleep on the first. You know, it's like it happens, and I go into every situation with an open mind in the sense of like, if you know, we could be intimate and he can go somewhere.
So then maybe we should stop judging women and let the women just do whatever the hell they want. They want to do it on the first day. They don't want to do it on the first day. They want to do it for the alpha. They want to do it for the beta. Just do you, man. Honestly.
Yeah, look, if you like the
No
guy,
one's
do.
judging men for sleeping on the first day.
The thing is, I know, but like,
If anything, it's the opposite. If the man doesn't go for the kiss, like after a really good date, it's like, oh, he didn't even try to kiss me. Like, oh. But then if the woman like takes initiative physically because they had such good chemistry, then she's viewed as cheap or.
no,
whatever.
I mean, in my case, I just look for the chemistry and for those
Yeah.
things, and usually, like, if it's very obvious, like, women don't usually make the first move, but they just fucking open the door, and
Yeah.
unless you're blind, like,
Oh my god.
you take the chance, you go for the kiss.
You want to hear a funny story?
Tell me.
Oh my god. One time I was on a date. Oh my god. Oh my god. Thank God this guy doesn't have Instagram. He was such a good guy. My friends introduced me to him.
Okay.
And we had a fun date. It was nice, it was cute, whatever. But like I was telling you earlier, like I was like, oh, he's a really great guy, but I feel like he's too feminine for me. Whatever.
Ah.
Oh my god. And then he wanted to open the car door for me. And for some reason, like my nervous system just flared up. I was like, oh my god, he's probably gonna try to kiss me. And I started freaking out because I didn't want to kiss him.
Oh shit.
Oh my god, I started freaking out. And to be fair, also like I haven't had a kiss in a while when that date was happening.
Yeah.
And then oh my god, and then he like tried to spin me around, like to help me like get into the car, or whatever. So he like grabbed my hand, he tried to spin me around, and then he was trying to pull me to him, and I just burst out laughing. I could not help and I'm a nice person. You know me, I'm nice. I'm not mean like that. Oh my God, he tried to kiss me. And he's such a nice guy. Like you could tell like he's not going every day trying to do this. Like he genuinely was into me and he thought we had a great date. So he's like, oh, this is going to be a cute moment. I'm going to spin her around. I'm going to bring her for a kiss. And I'm just like laughing. I'm laughing my ass off. I'm just like, I think it was Clarence Street. I'm like, I'm like laughing. I can't stop. I'm like, oh my God, I stopped. This is so mean. And he's just looking at me and then he starts laughing with me. And he's like, what's going on? Like,
You're laughing at him and he's laughing.
oh my God. And then I was like, I'm really sorry. I'm so sorry. I was like, it was a nervous reaction. I got really nervous. I haven't kissed someone in a long time. Oh no, that's not true, Mom and Dad. I've never kissed anyone ever. But yeah, shit. But yeah, poor thing. And then when he wanted to walk me to my door after, and I was like, don't try to kiss me, please. And he was like, no, I learned my lesson. And then he still wanted to go on a third date. Imagine. No.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's like, it's obvious when a girl likes you. Pull up the other question. I got to use the washroom really quickly.
Okay. Is being in a toxic relationship more exciting than a healthy one? Shit.
Yes, and it goes back to how you mentioned those reality TV shows give you that up and down.
Yeah.
So I think the toxic relationship gives you that. So they're very addictive.
You don't think people mistake chaos for passion?
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, I've been in a toxic relationship, and when you're having that crazy fight, and somehow that insane fight about something when there was plates thrown, if that ends up in the bedroom, it's the fucking best. Because I've had that. Like I had a girl. I told you. I think I fucked that one up for sure. And during that time, because I was like, just hurt, like I don't know, whatever. I was going through it, and that's where all my narcissistic, all that shit came out, and I wasn't like cheating, but I was giving my like attention somewhere, like in different places, pictures, but it wasn't even like girls from in real life. He would be like influencers and stuff. It just likes. My monkey brain would like something, and would start fighting, and yeah, like she would start to like throw things at me, and I would yell and scream and whatever, and she's like, "But why do you always like this?" And she looks nothing like me, and I'm a blonde and she's a brunette and whatever. And sometimes those fights end up in the bedroom, and it will be the best because I would rage fuck her, I guess. And she loved it too, I guess. I loved it because for me it was like a fucking, what do you call it? I guess humiliation, just like I'm the fucking man, you do, And I guess for her it was God. Like
Definitely a toxic relationship.
Yeah, it was super toxic.
But that's the thing, that's why I asked you that question. I feel like, again, from a psychological standpoint, I feel like we tend to mistake chaos for passion.
Yeah.
And that comes from trauma bonds and past experiences.
Yeah.
If we come from a place where having that abusive or toxic relationship is normal, that toxicity is normal, that instability is normal, like especially people that come from like abusive households, or not necessarily like physical abuse, even emotionally abusive households where things were very, disruptive at home, and then you mistake that disruption in a partner for love and passion and care because that's the role models that you grew up with.
I agree, but also those girls that come from those homes, they can't be loved.
No, I disagree with that.
No, they can't. Like that girl,
so
the reason that girl and I lasted, and it's because I was so toxic. And and when I healed myself and I fixed myself, like whatever, me and her were done. But I've met females that have come from toxic past with toxic ex-boyfriends. They see me as like a reformed toxic guy who did the work, but still has that edge. Still like they would like that. Listen, you need maturity to appreciate, what do you call it? Consistency.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
And
because your brain gets addicted to those highs and lows.
Those highs and lows.
But then the worst part, and that's something we touched up on too before, it's the dopamine that your brain secretes during the reconciliation or the rage.
The rage
activity.
sex. Rage fucking.
So, like, your brain starts secreting that dopamine, and it's addictive. So your brain gets addicted to that high and low, and it learns a reward system because your mind does not differentiate between, the conscious and your unconscious mind does not differentiate between fact and fiction and what's going on. Oh. So it's more of like this action is ending up giving me this reaction. So every time I have an opportunity to stir it up and have that toxic fight, I know I'm gonna get that reconciliation in the end, and that dopamine is going to start to
Oh,
create
wow.
from your brain. Your brain is addicted to it, so it's gonna do everything in its power to get you to that place. And also, like, people in toxic relationships last a long time. It's a trauma bond that they
Yeah,
have.
but you say that, and then that girl in that toxic relationship finds the guy who gives them nothing but tranquility and stability, and she fucking lives him because it's too fucking boring.
No, yes, it's both ways, because like, to you this is not passionate, and it's boring, and you don't know what to do with it, and you don't know how to accept it, and you don't have
Yeah, because
that,
your
like,
baseline is uncertainty.
Absolutely. But then again, like, when you say that, oh, you can't love those girls, no, I refuse that statement, because anyone that doesn't do the work, they're not going to be in a healthy relationship. And anyone that does do the work, they can be in a relationship. And I've said this before, like, we have a saying in Arabic, it's فَقِدُ الشَّيْءِ لَا يُعْطِيهِ, which means someone who lacks something cannot give it. Like, if you come from a household where the love and all that stability is not there, then you can't have that for yourself. I believe the opposite. I believe that when you lack something and you grew up in the abstinence of a certain emotion or thing that you want, if you do the work, you become the most person that gives that, because you know what it feels like to be on the other end of it. It's just like that kid that, you know, what his dad used to beat him up, or his dad was an alcoholic and he beat his mother, and whatever. That guy has two choices psychologically as well. Either you identify with the aggressor and you become the thing that you fear the most, or you do the work and you become the complete opposite. And that's why sometimes you find people who, let's say, endured sexual abuse as kids, they become the biggest advocates for children, and they become the best lawyers, and they become the most protective. And
Or they become aggressors themselves.
there you go. So it's a choice that you make. And it's a choice that you make every day. You either keep putting in the work or you don't, because you might think now that you're good and you're done, but then one day one thing is going to trigger you. And you're really going to it's going to sound really good and very tempting to go back and be that bad boy again and just fuck shit up. So you make that choice every day.
You never need. You can't ever stop doing the work on yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Matter of fact, when things are going great, you have to like, hey, I don't know, because I'm still working on myself, you know, obviously, but I'm not proud of who I was those couple years. I hated women. I hate it.
I told you. See, I was right. They hate women when they go through that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a rage. It's a rage, and a lot of like men would create these channels talking about women, and you have like I guess I like Andrew Tate. I love Andrew Tate.
Yeah, human trafficking. Okay.
And the reason I bring him up is because he's the face of that movement. But he's actually a very well-grounded man. There are guys out there that are very extreme about women and this and that. And I find that over time, like, you never want to get married to any type of ideology. You never want to like be that your identity, because a lot of those guys that have these channels where they talk about bitches ain't shit, this and that, they end up getting married. A lot of the guys,
he becomes the bitch boy, by the way, in the relationship.
maybe or maybe not, but like they preach, don't get married, don't do this, don't have kids, don't date a single, and then they end up doing all the things that they talk you not to do.
Yeah.
Right? So like, don't get married to an ideology, don't get married to like some influencer guy. Because you go through phases. You gotta write your own book. Like those years, some might say that's the real me. That's who you are. Those are your true colors. I don't think so. I think at that time I hated like women. I hated because I was so hurt. I gave myself to somebody, and they just. And it's true when people say who hurt you. Yeah, somebody hurt you. And
People hurt people. Yeah.
hurt people, right? For me, obviously, like my mom living when I was 12, affected. It didn't affect me in my early relationships.
Yeah, because you weren't aware of it.
I wasn't aware of it, but the last one, like everything came back, and that's when I became so toxic, and I was. And in my head, I'm like, I'm going through this, 3-4 girls a week, like crazy at the condo. I was at a condo, and I was just going through it, and I only care about numbers and this, and playing them, and I'm like, I'm gonna take that girl, pick me up from the airport. She's gonna drive me to my house. We're gonna eat. What fuck? Send her home. I have another one coming over. I was just going through so much.
But didn't it leave you feeling empty?
Yeah, it leaves you
By
feeling
the end
empty
of
for
it?
sure, for sure.
So what was your breaking point when you decided to work on yourself? What stopped that vicious cycle for you? I think it would help a lot of men who go through that. They don't want to admit it to themselves when they see, like, and I commend you really, I really do, for your, like, honesty and bravery to say that. And I think a lot of guys who are probably going through it, they don't realize they are. And now listening to you, they might relate. So
Well, look, being single is fun. Fucking around is fun, but it gets old. It gets old very quickly. Like you're in a toxic relationship, or a girl breaks your heart. So this is what happened. Like obviously, I was heartbroken. I didn't know my worth. I didn't know that. Hey, man, I thought I was the ugliest, low value man out there. All of a sudden, I start getting in a little bit of shape. Post a selfie. Selfie gets likes. I'm getting my ego boost. I'm starting to reconstruct my self esteem. Then I start thinking, oh, maybe I'm not ugly. Maybe she's just the way she made me feel. But you start seeking that validation. And all of a sudden you go on a date and you fuck the girl on the first date. You're like, oh shit, okay, so maybe I'm not ugly. And then you keep getting that reassurance all of a sudden, just like anything, right? And it's just like you find something. A lot of times we find things and we go to an extreme. You find keto, boom, you become a vegan. You start fucking doing cold plunges. Oh my God, that's all you do.
I can't with the cold plunges. I can't. Oh
Right?
my God.
And then that's what I did. I went all in. Then what happens over time, you start learning that that's not everything that matters, and you bring yourself down. You're like, okay, I am confident. I'm not going to be posted. I'm not going to seek for validation anymore. I'm not going to just go on a date and sleep with a girl just because I need to boost my ego. The ego lays are like, that's one thing I don't do, and I did that for a period of time. So I think, yeah, man, like, those phases that you go through, it's fine. Go through them. Try not to hurt us people. At least 2 girls I know were really hurt because they were lied to, they were manipulated, they were gaslit, and I'm happy that one of them has a family.
Did you try to apologize?
I've apologized to one of them for sure. The other one was nothing to do with me. She's dating a woman, actually.
No.
That's how.
Oh my God, you turned a straight woman into a lesbian.
I know. And she was gorgeous. She was a beautiful, like,
Oh my God, Chris.
gorgeous girl.
I can't wait till I see your karma for doing that.
Karma?
Yeah.
My karma?
Yeah.
But the thing is, I pay the karma up front, though.
What?
Well, yeah, because, like, I did nothing to deserve what happened to me. And so I got fucked over. And on my way of building myself, some people got hurt. And I feel terrible about that. But why do I deserve karma, though? Like, I didn't deserve the bad thing that happened in the first place. So I paid it up front. You know, now going dating.
I don't think that's how karma works.
I don't think karma's a real thing.
No. You don't believe in karma?
No.
Oh my God.
No, I don't.
I don't think I've ever met someone who doesn't believe in karma. See, I want to, like the girl in me wants to argue with you, but I don't even know what to say.
I think things just happen, right? Like I can't do something good for you expecting good karma tomorrow.
No.
And just like a bad thing,
No,
but
like,
I'm gonna get
like,
punished.
You don't believe, like, if you're... I don't know.
I think the universe will, like, find a way to, like, you know, if you believe in it, for sure. Like, I think it's just one of those things. Like, if you believe in it, it happens.
It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, because 100%. Like, there are bad people out there that always get their way, no matter what. They always get their way. But it comes at their own inner peace because they all have problems. Yeah. And I think if you're a good man throughout your whole life, then yeah. I think what I did was wrong in the sense of, like, the gaslighting, the cheating, the manipulation, being insensitive. Yes. For those two girls out there, yes, I'm so sorry for that. Do I think I deserve fucking karma? I don't think I deserve it, just as, like, I didn't deserve what happened prior to what made me a fuckboy. You know? Like I don't deserve it. I don't deserve the bad thing that happened, and I don't deserve anything bad. And I think I'm at a place now where I don't know. I don't even know what I want right now. I'm just like very open minded. If I meet somebody and everything clicks, I'm not gonna sabotage it.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna meet somebody and like expect them to like, oh my God, I like you, so we're gonna do this, this, and that, and put all that pressure on them. No. Something happens naturally. It's gonna take its way.
Yeah. Did you ever reach out to your mom and try to like reconcile?
No, I never know.
Never, not once since you were 12.
What do you mean? I talk to my mom every day.
Oh, wait, because you said she left.
Yeah, she left when I was 12, and then 3 years, and then she brought me to Canada.
So she reached out to you and brought you here.
Yeah, she left. She left my dad because my dad was a beta, very beta person, and so she is survival man. Everything women do comes from a survival frame. So my mom did what she had to do. Unfortunately, that came at the cost of my relationship with her because it has never been the same. And I think it's just me protecting. I'm here in Ottawa, like I'm 5 hours away. Right? She was always a little bit there more for my brother, so my brother's more dependent. And I think that's, I came to Canada. So like you think about like a man, a kid, a 12-year-old kid, all of a sudden the mom ups and leaves. And then I'm with my dad. My dad's going through his breakup, bringing a whole bunch of women home. Oh, some of those women did things to me. So that was my first exposure to like, sex or whatever. Then I moved to Canada, and then I get kicked out of the house at 16. So yeah, like obviously, like I have for me, woman, it's just it was like this, almost like it was almost like what's love, like what's unconditional love, like what's the. My mom picked my stepdad and this and that. The women are always leaving me for something, so I put this thing right. So so what happened at first? All my first relationship, I was trying to be what my dad was, and I was trying to be like I'm gonna be the nice guy. I'm going to meet a girl, and I'm going to show her that I'm a good man. And when you go through that and a girl leaves you, you're like, I don't understand. I was 23, whatever. Meet the next one that happens, and the third one, I was engaged. And I did all the things I could, to be a good man, and then she fucking leaves in the worst possible way. You have a lot of hate. Like, you go through a lot of rage. And yeah, so that's where you do all these things to boost your ego. You start fucking all the girls you don't care. You have the ego lace. You just bring a girl just who you want to tell your friends, I had 3 girls this week. I had 4 girls. It's been 10 days straight of a different girl, You play these games now. And then, yeah. And then I don't know, you kind of level yourself off. And you're like, okay, what brings me joy? It's like a solid relationship, but like I'm always gonna have that uncertainty that they might leave one day. But that's what drives me to like keep working harder. Because there's no girl that's ever left me that's doing better, to be honest. And because it's my ego, I won't let that happen. So I'm looking at their man. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make more than them. I'm gonna be in better shape than them. I'm gonna age better than them. I'm gonna take better care of myself. I can't let that happen. You're not gonna leave me and get your way. And maybe that's unhealthy. I don't know.
It is, because then you're always focusing on something that's in the past and you're comparing yourself to these other men. But it's like, what do you want to do? How do you want to grow? Where do you want to be? Like, you should be doing that for yourself.
I think right now, I wanna be a father, and I think my goal is to be the best father I could be.
And what are you doing to achieve that goal?
I just have an open heart. Like, sounds gay as fuck. I have an open mind when I meet a female, and if he goes somewhere, great. And I want to make sure that we're on the same page. And I'm hoping it's a good Christian woman, because I think that religions or fates are the best marriages, relationships. And I say Christian because that's my fate. But if I was Muslim and she was Muslim, it would be the same thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or Jewish or whatever. So, yeah, in my case, a nice Christian woman with values and stuff, good family, but also that wants more out of life. Because if she just wants an average, then I'm not an average guy. Like I have a chip on my shoulder. I have a fucking killer instinct. I have a fire in me that wants more out of life. How do you? I wake up here. I live the way I live. I live this life, and I go and I date probably the most beautiful girls in the city, and all these things. And I look at myself. I'm like, how did that fucking 12-year-old kid in a third world country with fucking no shoes outside? How do I live here with no like nothing? I just brought it in here, went to high school, barely finished high school, work construction, had to learn the language. I have to be a high achiever to already be living the way I live with no help. I help my dad. I send my dad money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so a girl can't come at me because oftentimes that killer instinct is what attracts the girl. But it's like, what? You want me to like be a killer outside and then be soft to you? I can't.
Why not? That's perfect.
Huh?
That's perfect.
Because I wouldn't be true. Like
You're gonna be a killer instinct with her too.
No. Like this is where you want to have the right balance. Like I meet the girl, and she can't expect me to like, I don't know. Like if she just wants an average, like, because what happened in my last relationship, like that person will be very good with a guy who's average, who's happy, who's gonna drink beer on a Saturday and watch the game. Not me. Like that's not me. I work on Sundays. I work hard. I play hard. We go travel. I want a house 10 times bigger than this. And so I guess I want like a nice Christian girl that takes care of herself. Obviously, physical attraction is a huge thing for me. I will do in turn take care of myself, and she also needs to like respect my drive and not get in the way. Because I feel like a girl can hold you back, and if you're a guy with that chip on your shoulder, and you have a partner that you feel like she's holding you back, you hate that. You hate it. And I had somebody that was holding me back.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I can't. I'm a hunter. You know. I come from nothing, and I build all of this by myself.
Are you happy?
Definitely. Yeah, I'm definitely happy. Yeah. I'm never satisfied. But that's just my personality.
So do you feel fulfilled?
No. I feel like I haven't reached what I'm capable.
When is it enough?
I don't know, because I'm always like moving the target. The target's always moving,
Yeah.
right? It's like right now, enough will be to come home and say, "Daddy's home." That'll be it for me. But I'm sure when I'm there, I'm gonna be thinking of other things.
Yeah.
You know, but that's the target right now. So I'm always moving the target. I mean, right now, like the things I have now, what's my target before I had them?
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, like I do. But yeah, I think that comes from, you know, what's funny. My dad is the way he is, and a lot of people could like criticize him, and I have older family members that criticize him for like the way he was with us, in the sense of like didn't really provide, didn't really, you know. And so I have uncles that would have given their kids everything, and the kids don't have the drive that I have.
Absolutely.
And so as much as people criticize my father, they want what my father has, which is a son with a killer instinct. because I have families that are just my uncle give my cousin everything, and my cousin plays Fortnite all day. We're like the same
But
age.
that's the thing. That's the comfortability. I feel like it will kill that spirit for you. You
Yeah,
know?
so I don't know. I'm not mad at my parents.
Yeah,
'Cause I have
I
this-
don't think you should be.
I have this unquenchable, what do you call it? The thirst. Like you can't, like this.
Unquenchable, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like you can't like this unfulfilled. It's like where it's never enough,
Yeah.
and I think that came from not having everything. But I mean, those traits, had they given me everything, I wouldn't have that drive. But the drive, there would never be enough.
No, absolutely. That's like the inner child wound that you have. It goes back to your purpose and your why in life.
This is not even a podcast. This is a fucking therapy
I'm
session.
telling you, see, I said
You're like a
therapy for
therapist. You look like
reason.
Dr. Melfi. I'm gonna call you Dr. Melfi from now on.
Dr. Melfi?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It's from The Sopranos.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, so you tell me,
What?
you psychoanalyzing me right now?
No, I'm not. I wasn't actually. I was listening more, and it makes so much sense. And I feel like you've reached a point in adulthood that is a very defining moment for a lot of us, where we come at crossroads. You know, like when we grew up with difficult parents or difficult childhood, you get to a crossroad when you start reaching that self-reflection and you start becoming an adult. You realize, like, oh my God, like, how could you do this to a child? How could you treat? Because when you're still young, you think it's normal.
Yeah.
You don't know how different it is out there. You don't know how better it is in certain households, and your parents, like, that's just the standard you have, and you think it's normal and it's okay. And the more you grow up and you open up to the world, the more you start realizing, oh, that was messed up, that was fucked up, I deserved better as a kid, and I would have given a child better if I was in your position as a parent. So then you're at a crossroad, and this is very detrimental for a lot of people, where you either you realize how badly your parents fucked up, and you let that consume you, and you become an angry, resentful person, and you cut off your parents maybe, or whatever, however you want to deal with that.
Yeah.
Or you decide to forgive them and understand that they did the best they could with what they had and what they were capable of at the time. And coming to that realization helps you let go of all the anger and helps you forgive. Like, I was an angry child for a very long time, and to me it was just like, oh, it's not fair, it's not fair, it's not fair. Okay, yeah, what's new? Suck it up. Life's unfair.
Yeah.
And what's next? Like, you being angry about it is not going to change anything. Or you hating your parents or being mad at them, it's not going to change what happened. They're trying. They're being parents for the first time. They're living life for the first time, just like you are. You don't know what they were going through. So you just have to accept it. No matter how unfair it was, you have to accept they did the best they could with what they were capable of. Period. That's it. No questions asked. And I'm not with the whole, like, a lot of therapists, they say, like, you should have a sit down with your parents and you should hash it out and go over everything that No.
I can't do that.
For some people it's healthy. Like, I don't think that that's always constructive. Our brains repress certain memories in certain parts of our life, and we just don't remember it because we're not strong enough right now to process it and deal with it. And sometimes when you reach a place where you are capable, it will resurface and you will deal with it then and there. But, you know, appreciating the way you did and deciding to make your pain your power, I feel is the best thing that you could do for yourself. And overachievers come from adversity all the time. They don't come from comfort.
Yeah.
You always it's like when you grow up without, like, having enough food on the table, so then you become that person that has all those, like, big dinners and big gatherings, and you put so much food. It comes from that. You're a shopaholic because you grew up with nothing or whatever.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with overachievers. If you're growing up always being told you're not good enough, you're not good enough, you're gonna grow up and be like, fuck all of you, I'm gonna show all of you that I am good enough. But then, you know, you also want to reach a point where now you're doing it for you. It's not to show people and to prove a point anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if I ever have that conversation with my dad. My dad is old,
Yeah.
and so I'm just gonna let him, take that to the grave.
I'm sure he's proud of you. I'm sure he knows. Like, that's the thing. Our parents know. They don't need us to come
He's
tell
proud
them.
of me. I just don't think he has enough self-awareness to know what he did or didn't do.
Yeah.
And so, and as far as my mom goes, my mom needs to forgive herself. She cries a lot. Like, she does a lot she thinks I hate her, and I don't. Like, I don't. But like I think that relationship we had will never be the same. I was her first child. I used to tell her I love her. I was very affectionate, and her leaving, it was so
It was a
hurtful.
betrayal, maybe too.
It was a lot. Yeah, and I think I forgave her. Um, I don't think she's forgiving herself, and I sometimes blame a lot of stuff, but this is what it is. I just, even though I forgave them and everything, I just can't stop being who I am. This is my personality now. I'm always gonna have that because I'm uncomfortable being comfortable.
Are you
like,
running away from something?
huh?
Are you running away from something? Like, what happens if you become comfortable?
I can't be comfortable.
But let's say you become comfortable.
I can't.
No. I mean, like in your head, what is the outcome if you got comfortable? What's gonna happen? What do you think the consequence of that is?
I don't know because I don't know what that is. Like I can't sit and watch TV. I'm always have to do something.
Like to me, comfortability. If I become comfortable, to me, I see, I'm gonna be homeless. I'm gonna be broke. I'm gonna be a failure. I'm gonna be miserable. I'm gonna commit suicide. Like, that's what I think.
I just get a lot of anxiety.
Yeah. That's anxiety as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If I become comfortable, broke. Like just poor. Like I'll end up like my dad. And so
Where is he now? What is he doing?
he's back home. He's okay. Like he's not starving. He's got like a bunch of kids. And I support him. But yeah, I just don't want to end up like that, broke But it's not about the money. I think my drive comes a lot from like not having anything, and so realizing that no one's coming to save you. You have nothing coming to you, and so a lot of people know, hey, I could do everything wrong. When I'm 60 and my parents pass away, I got $1 million house. So even if I got in credit card debt and my credit is trash and I didn't have a job, when I'm old, I have something.
That's what I always say, like, because I work I do a zillion things at the same time. I work like a freaking donkey. I never stop, and it's like, because I'm the person that everyone is gonna call when shit hits the fan. I'm the person that's gonna call me for help. I have all these people that I know at some point I'm gonna need to bail them out. I'm gonna need to take care of them. I don't have someone, if I just sit and chill, to call them if shit hits the fan and be like, oh, come help me. I'm struggling. I fucked up. I can't fuck up. I can't afford to fuck up.
No, you can't.
Others in my life can fuck up because they know they can rely on me, but I can't do that, so I can't stop because I don't know what's gonna happen.
And usually the parents help the weaker person.
Yeah.
Usually the weaker person gets the most help.
Yeah.
And the stronger people, they don't.
I wouldn't have it any other way, to be honest.
No, you don't. No.
Yeah, because then I know, like, if I move anywhere, if anything happens to me, I'll be fine.
You have that. You have that killer instinct.
Yeah.
The problem is because you're a girl, your man has to have a killer instinct too.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like my guy friends or my friends' husbands, like they all love me. They all want to see me happy in a relationship, and then they'll try to like give me their advice, their unsolicited advice, and they'll be like, I think your problem is that you're too intimidating for a man. You're too independent. You're too this. You're too that. But then it's like, yeah, but I'm not out here being like, oh, like I'm the man, I wear the pants and the rage. Like I'm more than happy to take the back seat.
No, you have a lot of your feminine energy. You preserved it.
You be the head, I'm the neck. We're a team. Like I'm okay to be a branch in the tree. Like I don't have to be the main character. I understand that. But then it's like, oh yeah, but that's the energy you give. Like you're very intimidating. And like I'll be at a networking event and someone who has seen me like 20 times will finally approach me, or their friend knows me, so they found a segue in, and they'll be like, you know how many times like I've seen you, I wanted to talk to you, but I never really. I'm just like, why? Like, oh, like I'm intimidating. I'm like, what about me is intimidating? Or like they'll meet me in person and be like, oh, like I thought you would be mean. I thought you would be standoffish. I'm like, what am I doing wrong that is giving you guys this idea? I don't get it.
Yeah.
So it's like, should I be reliant and damsel in distress?
I don't know. I didn't get that vibe. You were like super welcoming and nice when I first met you, and and you don't have masculine energy at all.
Thank God.
Like a
Someone
lot of
finally
guys,
said
a
that.
lot of females do, and you don't.
Thank God.
And I'm not
someone
just
said
saying that. Like you have no masculine energy, which is good. You do have like class, and I think that could be intimidating because you do give out like high maintenance vibes.
That's what my friend's husband said.
Yeah,
He's
you
like, "You're a
you do
diva."
it's giving high maintenance for sure.
Why? What does high maintenance mean?
Just like well put together, you know, and so maybe a lot of guys don't feel worthy of like a girl that has those things. So, but it's not giving masculine energy.
Okay.
So I think if it's intimidating, it comes from like, well, maybe I don't make enough for this girl. Maybe I don't have my
Yeah.
shit together enough for this girl.
Even though I don't care, by the way. Like, I'm not looking for a millionaire. I really don't care. As
No,
long as-
I listen. I get, but that's the vibe you give, though.
Yeah. That's what my friend's husband said to me.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're a diva, and there's all these things. Oh my God, it's so funny because we were
It's
sitting.
okay.
It was me and my friend. She's a doctor, and we're both like single. And then he tells my doctor, he's like, for you, like the only thing a man's gonna feel like he needs to compete with is he needs to be smarter or he needs to make more money or whatever because you're a doctor. He's like, with you, it's like, oh, I'm like, what, now I'm worse than the doctor? And then he's like, yeah, he has to compete with your friend group, with your social life, with your work and your career and this. And he starts mentioning, he goes on like a rampage of things. And I'm like, oh wow. So then my problem is that like I'm good.
Yeah.
I have my shit together. That's my problem. That's my downfall. I need to
That's
be a
your
damsel in distress.
Yeah.
And all these heroes are going to rush to save me.
Played.
So dark, can't see a thing. I hear a song of the broken beat. Give me nickel, give me dime, give me dollar, I'll give